Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I hope you're having a great day today and you're ready to see some new makeup. So in today's video, as the title and the thumbnail suggest, I have a dupe for you for the Soft Glam palette, which I have reviewed here on my channel before, and I used it in quite a few of my videos. I absolutely love this palette. I love the color theme of it. The black in it is absolutely amazing. It has some really nice gold and burgundy shades, and I just think that this is such a sophisticated, elegant palette. And the dupe I have for you today is from the brand called W7. This is the palette called Romance. I have already reviewed here on my channel two of their other dupes for Anastasia palettes. One of them was called On the Rocks, which is a dupe for the Subculture palette, and the other one was called Delicious, which is a dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette. When you open this Romance palette, you can definitely tell straight away that this is meant to be a dupe for the Soft Glam palette. The layout of the shades is exactly the same. Of course, the names are slightly different, and I'm pretty sure the quality is different as well. At the end of the day, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette retails for £43, and this palette is available for £5 on Amazon, on eBay. Some places it might go up to £10 because that's the official price, but I believe that you will be able to pick it up for £5 if you decide to do so. Now, I have already done some swatches on my arms before I sat down filming, and I'm gonna insert that picture for you just now. So as you can see, the shades are looking extremely similar. However, that was already a case with the other two W7 palettes. When you swatch them, they looked really good. When you put them on the eye, the dark shades and the light shades don't really work quite as well as the ABH versions. So I believe that it will probably be something similar today as well, but we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, especially because at the end of the day the price difference is quite big. So if you can achieve something mostly similar, I think that's gonna be good enough for most of us. I'm just gonna go in and randomly swatch a couple of the shades to show you difference in the color payoff with one swipe, because I must say that in the photo I inserted for you, I had to swipe the romanced version quite a few times, whilst the ABH one gave me a really good color payoff almost straight away. So let's see a couple of the shades. I'm gonna start with Orange Soda, which is like an orangey peachy shade. That is Orange Soda. And I'm gonna do the same shade in the romanced palette. It's called Fling. As you can see, it's not bad at all. It's a slightly different shade, but the color payoff is actually quite good. Let's do the shade Sultry, which is one of the shimmery shades in the palette. Do it right here. So that's Sultry. And in the W7 palette, it's called Crush, and it feels really buttery, just like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. And the color is not bad at all. Next one, I'm gonna take the shade Dusty Rose, which is this little bit of a mauvey purpley shade, the first shade in the second row, and that is the ABH version. And in the W7 palette, it's called Lost. Lost seems to be a little bit warmer, but the color payoff was again really good. Next, I'm gonna swatch the shade Sienna, which is a reddish brown shade. And in the W7 palette, it's called Date Night. Date Night is definitely a little bit lighter than Sienna. And the last shade, of course, I had to check the shade Noir, which is the black shade in the palette. So here goes Noir. It's a really, really nice black, not patchy at all. And in the W7 palette, this shade is called Black Book. Just looking at it on my finger, I can already tell that it's gonna be more like a dark gray and not like a charcoal black. Yeah, this one is definitely lighter. So those are a couple of swatches for you. As you can see, when you swatch these shades from the W7 palette, they look really good and really similar. Now we just need to check if they blend as well as the Anastasia Beverly Hills shades do, because the biggest problem I have been facing with these dupe versions is that the dark shades kind of blend away and the light shades don't really show up on the eyes. So far so good, but now we really want to see how they apply on the eyes. So let's get straight into a tutorial using the two. As always, I'm gonna be using the more expensive palette on this side of my face, which is today the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, of course. And I'm gonna be using the cheaper palette on this side of the face, which is today the W7 Romanced palette. And before I use any eyeshadow on my eyes, I'm gonna put down a little bit of my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly on both sides. So I'm just gonna start off with laying down a shade on my crease, and I'm gonna use the shade Dusty Rose on the Anastasia side. And just kind of wing it out on the outer corner and bring it down in the inner corner. Okay, so that's the shade Dusty Rose. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the W7 side using the shade Lust. These two shades so far are extremely similar and they perform really similar as well. I actually have a feeling that out of the three, this is gonna be the best W7 palette. Okay, now I wanna go back with a little bit of a darker shade to start defining where the cut will be. And to do that, I'm gonna take the shade Sienna first and just start applying a line to where I want the cut to be. I'm gonna later come back and darken this up even more. So once the line is applied, I wanna blend it into the previous shade a little bit. So I'm gonna start blending it upwards. And then I'll take my previous brush without adding any more product and just really diffuse that shade. Now I repeat the same thing on the W7 side using the shade Date Night. I think the two sides are looking quite similar so far. The only thing I wanted to mention is that on the Soft Glam side, you can still see the original line, whilst in the W7 side, I wasn't able to apply such a precise line. The product had a lot of fallout and it was kind of just going everywhere. I wasn't able to apply it precisely where I wanted to, but otherwise the two sides are looking really similar so far. Now I'm gonna go back with a little bit more of Dusty Rose just to really blend these colors together. And I do the same thing on the W7 side using the shade Lost. The next thing I'm gonna do is take a really small brush like this, and I'm gonna dip it into the shade Mulberry. When you want to create a makeup look like this that requires really precise application, you unfortunately have to have the brush for it. You won't be able to create such a sharp line using powder products unless you have a pencil like this. It doesn't need to be from Zoeva. It can be from any other brand. You just need to make sure that you have a brush with a really small head like this. I'm gonna go back to the other side now, and I'm gonna apply the shade Desire and try to create the same line here. You really want to make sure now that the two sides are symmetric, so I keep looking into my mirror and just checking if I'm applying it to the same place where I have it on the other eye. And now you're gonna go back and blend out this shade with your original pencil brush, but without adding any product to it. We're not using the blending brush because that would be too big and the product would just go everywhere. And I want to take my favorite little brush, this detail shader brush, and my Too Faced sculpting concealer in the shade Snow, and I'm gonna cut the crease. Okay, now that the concealer is in place, I'm gonna set it with the shade Tempera, and I'm gonna use a smudger brush just because it's so short and dense. I love tapping on product with this brush. So once again, this is the shade Tempera. And on the other side, the shade is called Infatuation. Okay, so far I'm really impressed with this W7 palette. I honestly think that this is the best Anastasia dupe they've done so far. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a black liquid eyeliner pencil, and today that's gonna be the Essence eyeliner pen. And I'm gonna start my eyeliner, and I will only do the wing of it. And as you can see, I don't bring it down like I normally would, but I kind of run it parallel to the other line. So like I said, once you have this wing, you don't complete the rest of the eyeliner yet. We're gonna go back to that later, because first we want to create here an ombre effect. First of all, I'm gonna take a really teeny tiny brush like this Zoeva Spot Liner brush, and I'm gonna dip it into the black shade called Noir, and I'm gonna basically add it on top of this black eyeliner and bring it in a little bit furthermore than we brought in the pencil itself, and basically just smudge it out. And I do the same thing on the other side using the shade Black Book. Now, using my finger, I'm gonna add the shade Fairy in the inner part of the lid, trying to focus on the lower part. We don't really want to go too high up. So there's the shade Fairy. I don't think you can see too much, but that's all right. On the other side, I'm gonna repeat the same thing using the shade Amour. Honestly, the two eyes look super similar so far. Now I'm gonna take the pencil brush that we used before, and I'm gonna dip it into the shade Sienna, and I'm gonna add it just right next to the black shade. And just try to smudge out the edges a little bit on both sides. We're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side using the shade Date Night again. First, just place down the shade. So now to really bring the black and the sienna shade together, we're gonna place a little bit of mulberry just where the border of the two shades is. So once again, I'm gonna take a little bit of mulberry and just place it there. And on the other side, we're gonna take a little bit of Desire and do the same. And now between the Fairy and the Sienna shade, I'm gonna put a little bit of bronze down with my finger once again. And on the other side, it's gonna be the shade Valentine. And now that this is complete, I'm gonna take my eyeliner pencil again and finish the rest of my eyeliner. And under my eyes, I'm gonna take the Luxe pencil brush again, and I'm gonna pick up some of the shade Dusty Rose, and on the brush, the shade Dusty Rose is gonna now mix with the shade Sienna, and I'm gonna apply the mixture of the two right under my eyes. And now I do the same thing on the W7 side, picking up a little bit of Lust. And I'm gonna take this small applicator sponge, and I'm gonna take some of the shade Glistening and just add it to my inner corner. And the same thing on the other side using the shade Passion. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara. Okay, so this is the finished look. I don't know guys, what do you think? I think they look exactly the same. I'm actually shocked. The Delicious palette was alright, the On The Rocks palette was alright, but the Romance palette is absolutely killing it. I literally cannot tell the difference between the two eyes. I think the results are absolutely amazing, and this palette did really well. I mean, this is not a simple eye makeup look. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to really test out what you can do with this palette, and I think it's amazing. Once again, this one is the Soft Glam side, this one is the Romance side. I think it turned out gorgeous. So if you guys find the Soft Glam palette too expensive or not really available where you live, definitely give a chance to the W7 Romance palette, because it turned out to be the best dupe so far for the Soft Glam palette for a fraction of the price. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I feel the warmth of your skin. I feel the touch of your hand.